right, so today we are going to talk about the cost of ownership for a Tesla Model 3. Now we're going to go very in depth in this video of how much the car costs, how much we're going to pay in interest, depreciation, insurance. It's going to be very in depth in detail, and I'm actually going to drop in an amortization schedule in the link. So if you want to follow along and kind of calculate your own automobile purchase that you're considering, I think this video is going to be very helpful for you. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe, and also leave a comment telling me what you think, what could be changed. I've done a video before on this. Was the second video that I'm making. The first one was on the Porsche 911 GTS, which is basically my dream car, and I'll leave the link here in the video. So let's get to it. So we're going to be looking at the Tesla Model 3. So right now on Tesla's website, and you'll see that Tesla has a special 1.9% APR financing. Now, that is if you're going to finance the car for 60 months. So the purpose of this video, I'm going to be doing 72-month term. Now, it's good to know that the average rate loan is usually around 72 months, and the average car payment is about $750 a month. And that's only a car payment. So in this video, again, we're going to go very in depth. We're not going to go to car payment. We're going to go into a lot more detail. But let's build out a Model 3 and see what that's going to look like. Now, something to keep in mind when you're in Tesla's website is to look at the savings that they're giving you, because Tesla is somewhat sneaky, right? So when you look, you're like, oh, I'm only going to pay this much. So right now we're looking at, and what I'm going to do actually is also spec out the long range, which I think is the best value for money, because the rear-wheel drive, you get 272 miles of range. The long range rear-wheel drive, you get 363 miles of range. The long range all-wheel drive, you get 341 miles, and the performance, you get 303 miles. So I feel like that is the best bang for the buck, because you're getting the best range. And again, these numbers would fluctuate slightly depending on the variant that you pick. But let's get into it. So we're doing long range. I'm also gonna just change the color, how I would spec it out if I were to purchase this vehicle. I would have the white exterior, I would have these same wheels, and then I would do the white interior. Now again, these are something that's just an estimate that Tesla gives, so I'm gonna kind of show you guys insight here. So edit terms and savings. So you'll see that Tesla includes what you're gonna save on gas, which is $83 a month. So again, you're not really saving that because you still have to pay for the vehicle, right? Like they don't take that amount you're saving and deduct it from what the vehicle costs. So we're gonna take that out, and we're gonna actually consider that you are eligible for the federal tax credit, which is $7,500. Here's a criteria. So married couples filing jointly need to make $300,000 or less, had a household 225, and all their files 150. These are the price caps. So everything long range is under this amount. So we'll be good to go here. All right, so let's take a look. So even speccing out, we'll be able to get the tax credit. Now, also I did say 72 months. So if you do 72 months, you're going to see that the APR is going to change from 199 to 2.99. All right, so there is a car we've specced out, right? And the cash price of the car is $36,990 if you're eligible for the tax credit. If you're not eligible for the tax credit, it's $44,490 with the white exterior, white interior. All right, so let's get to it. So now, in my spreadsheet here, as we'll see, I have gone ahead and punched everything in. So we're doing $5,000 down. These are the taxes of 7%. This is the purchase price. This is the dealer fee that Tesla usually charges, and then the tax credit. Okay? So the loan amount actually takes into account your purchase price plus your taxes plus your dealer fees, but it's going to take out your down payment and your $7,500. Okay? So now our loan amount is going to be $36,604. So if you look, if you were to get this term, again, 6 years, 5.99 interest. You didn't make any extra payments. Your monthly payment is going to be $555.99. And then you see the schedule, and again, all you have to do is change these numbers at the top, and everything will calculate for you. So you see your very first month of that payment being $5,599, you're going to pay $91 in interest. And then it tells you, so your second month, every month you pay a little bit less interest, a little bit more principal. And as we get to the end of the loan, which is 72 months, your total interest you're going to pay is $32.46.99. So you're going to pay $3,200 of interest. Okay. Now, we also need to consider depreciation. So this site is CarEdge. Giving them a shout out, not sponsored, which I was, but I'm not sponsored. But basically, I filled everything in, and this is in line with a lot of sites that the Model 3 is going to be worth about, 50. It's going to depreciate about 51% after 5 years. Again, we're going to do 6 years, so it's going to go out a little bit more. But basically, these are the figures here, and I have also put that into the spreadsheet. Now, I've noticed that they've depreciated, 35% basically at the very first year. But in total, it's going to be about 55% of depreciation. So I've put those figures in. Again, it's probably best to average it out and see what you're going to pay per month. And again, this spreadsheet that I'm going to include in the link is going to have all this information. So I've put in this information, depreciation, and I've also looked at insurance rates. Now, these are basically 2021 numbers, but it says here September 2024. So we're going to go with these figures, okay? So it's going to say it's about $305 a month. If it's less, again, you can put that in the spreadsheet. It's going to be less. Great. You're going to save more money that way. So now we have everything in, right? We have how much we're going to pay for the car. We have the interest rate. We have the insurance, and we have the depreciation. So those are all the things that we need. Also, I did not include maintenance because it's very difficult to calculate, especially being in an EV. All right, so now let's go back to this spreadsheet. This is depreciation. It's the exact same information you saw on the website, CarEdge. I've just dropped it in here because this ties into everything in our summary. So if we look at our summary, and again, this is taking a huge chunk of depreciation, about 35% in the first year. That's why the depreciation looks so off. So that's why I feel it's best to average. But let's just go year by year, and then when we get to the very bottom, we'll be able to look at the full 6 years and see what total cost to us. Right? The monthly payment is going to be $555 for the year, and for the month, and that's $6,671 per year. That doesn't change. Your payment is not going to change unless you pay extra. There's so many more variables, but we're just going to try to keep it as simple as we can. So $6,671. What is going to change is depreciation. So again, this is considering it's going to depreciate $13,000 in the first year, which is about $1,000.98 cents. Sorry, $1,000.98. Your insurance is not going to change to $305. For fuel and charging, it's so difficult to really estimate. I just went ahead and estimated $100. If you think it's more, if you think it's less, you can always change it in here. So things you want to change in here, if you want to change, are the insurance amount. You're just going to type that in here, and the fuel and charging, what you think that's going to be. These two don't leave alone, don't touch, because these are tied to other tabs within this workbook. Okay, so with this extremely high depreciation, we're saying that it's going to cost $2,059 a month for this Tesla Model 3 year one. For the year, that's going to cost you $24,000. Now, again, that doesn't seem realistic because I don't feel like the car is going to depreciate as much, maybe 20%. But anyways, I kind of went off the figure, so we have a baseline to continue off of. Okay, so second year, you see depreciation is much lighter. So then this seems more in line, $1,030 a month, because again, your $555 payment, your monthly depreciation of $89, your car insurance of $305, your charging of $100, which again can vary. Then year 3, we continue to move down, $555. Monthly depreciation is a bit higher year 3 than year 2. I don't know why. I would think it'd be higher in year 2 than year 3. So as time goes on, you would think depreciation would be less and less based on the chart from CarEdge. It's a little bit different, but we'll continue. So here you see all the figures, and what I want to show you is a total for the 6 years. All right, so if we look at the total, right, I just added up the total payments of 550, because again that's a 36,000 plus the interest is going to give you this amount, right? So your total payments. So this actually should not be in here, the interest, because we already know that the interest is included in the 72 payments. So your fees are $1,500 that you've paid at one time. This is the total depreciation, right? So I think this is more in line. So you take that 19,000 and you divide it into 72 months, and you're going to pay $264 per month. Your fees, $1,500 divided into 72 months, come out to about $20. Your down payment is about $69. Then your insurance, if you looked at insurance, is the biggest hit, right? So $305 for 72 months is $21,000, $3,660 per the year, and per month, $305. And then your fuel and charging, although it's only $100 a month, that's 72 months, it's $7,200 for the total 6 years. Per year, it's $1,200, per month, $100. So then this kind of gives you a clearer picture, because you saw the website, it said, oh, $559 in a month. That's not that bad, right? You figure 555 times 72 months, you get, the $40,000, not too bad. But you need to also consider a down payment you're going to put towards the car. That should also be included in what your monthly car payment is. Although you put that down to lower your car payment, you still came out of pocket with that money. Your fees are the same. Your depreciation. So depreciation is very tricky, because you're like, well, I'm not really paying depreciation. I'm not paying $264 a month, so why should that be included? Well, if something should happen, you need to get rid of the car. That needs to be factored in, because 6 years in, your car isn't still going to be worth $44,000. It's going to be worth probably $20,000. So you need to consider depreciation, because that is something that you're losing every month. Because if you think about it, if you took this $1,300, right, I'm including everything in, $1,300, and you bought a car cash, and you invest that $1,300, and you're getting 10% a year, and you do that in 30 years, you're going to be with millions of dollars, right? So, but the purpose of this is to see, what it's going to cost to own this car, and that depreciation needs to be included. Your insurance doesn't change. So now your monthly payment for that total of 72 months per month is $1,316, which is $94,000 for a car that cost $44,000. So that is a big chunk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoy making these types of videos. Again, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me if you want me to continue making these videos, what other cars you'd be interested in me doing these videos, any changes, any suggestions. Really appreciate it. Have an awesome day. Thank you.